and welcome. Tonight, Southern PDP leaders break ranks, distance themselves from the Southwest consultative meeting over whispers of a presidential zoning deal. Speaker Abbas Tajuddin throws down a gauntlet, urges Nigerians to hold their own representatives to account for true citizen power. Senior Oil Workers Union renews its push, insisting government hands off refineries to end the cycle of waste. And Moscow unleashes its fiercest wave of strikes in weeks, leaving Ukraine battered in deadly bombardments.
And on business, Nigeria stacks up a financial milestone. Foreign reserves soar to $41 billion, the highest in nearly half a decade.
On sports news tonight, the 2025-26 Nigeria Premier Football League rolls back to life this Friday as defending champions Remo Stars clash with Rivers United in Abeokuta.
And from the nation's capital, smiles, tears and relief as the Adamawa government reunites 14 trafficked children with their waiting parents.
We begin with politics, and it appears the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, is far from being over, as two separate meetings of the party's leaders held today in the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, where the party's Southwest consultative meeting took place, while the unity and future of the party, as well as zoning arrangements ahead of the party's national convention, formed part of the agenda. Some of those who attended the meeting are Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, former Deputy National Chairman of the PDP, Chief Bode George, and Chairman of the party's Board of Trustees, Senator Adolphus Nwabara. After that meeting, the Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, said the party is working to unite all aggrieved members ahead of the convention.
Consultation means you keep reaching out, you keep engaging. So from this meeting, we will also reach out and engage and even do more, because what is exactly what are we trying to do? We're trying to get all stakeholders, all tendencies in the PDP together so that we can give a credible alternative to Nigerians in the years ahead. This consultative meeting is not something that is statutory in the constitution of PDP. But democracy is inclusivity, reaching out and ensuring that all stakeholders are carried along, which is what we've done today. We need to have a party first before you start talking about presidential candidates, presidency. If we don't have a party, anything that you're trying to do will fall flat.
Meanwhile, some southern leaders of the PDP have distanced themselves from that meeting which took place in Lagos. The minority leader of the House of Representatives at the National Assembly, Honorable Kingsley Chinda, announced the decision of the leaders at a press conference in Abuja. He attributed this to a unanimous decision and resolution reached by some key southern leaders of the party, ranging from state chairmen of Imo, Abia, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and River State, former governors, National Assembly members present, and National Working Committee members, among others.
The attention of the undersigned chairman of the People's Democratic Party from the South and some critical stakeholders has been drawn to a meeting nicodemously summoned in Lagos today, the 21st day of August 2025, by some persons purporting to do so on behalf of the PDP members of the South, and they tagged the meeting PDP Southern Zoning Consultative Summit. This meeting is convened by the Admin Secretary Zoning Committee of the PDP at the behest of the Chairman of the Zoning Committee, our brother Honorable Senator Doye Diri, Governor of Bayelsa State. We say that it is indeed highly regrettable and deeply disturbing that such a meeting was convened without the courtesy of inviting several state chairmen from the Southeast and the South-South. More particularly, the said summit is premature and targeted at protecting the interest and selfish ambition of a select few, as the zoning committee set up by the 101 NEC meeting is yet to present its report of the zoning for ratification by the party. We cannot at this juncture start talking about micro-zoning. We categorically dismiss any resolution, any communique, or any outcome purportedly emanating from the said meeting as neither binding on or reflective of the collective will and aspirations of the People's Democratic Party family across southern Nigeria. Where any iota of regard in any form is given to the outcome of the purported meeting, we shall not hesitate to take appropriate steps in line with our party constitution to resist same, and of course with very full force.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has asked Nigerians to engage lawmakers in order to ensure effective citizens' representation. He was speaking in Abuja at the unveiling ceremony of the National Assembly Deliberative Barometer organized by the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center. According to him, the House of Representatives is firmly committed to transparency and active citizen engagement.
This gathering by lawmakers and members of civil society organizations is for the unveiling of Africa's first National Assembly Interactive and Deliberative Barometer, which underscores the need to place data and accountability at the center of legislative process. The business of the day begins with a presentation of the aim and an overview of the report.
This report reflects the need for the lawmakers to cultivate a culture of open dialogue, active engagement, and inclusive governance. It provides a framework for evaluating the advancement made by the legislature in meeting its obligation, tackling pressing societal challenges, and enhancing the overall effectiveness of legislative processes in the 10th Assembly.
We believe that from interaction, the legislative practices and procedure, they've been steady decline in quality of debate in the floor of the National Assembly.
Addressing the challenges of effective legislative governance is brought to the fore.
The report also shows that both the Senate and House of Representatives have prioritized the economy, security, education, and health sectors of Nigeria.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, who was represented at the event, harps on the need for effective citizens' representation.
We must also stress the role of citizens in this new dispensation. Tools like the deliberative barometer are not meant for policymakers alone. They are designed to empower citizens to engage, critique, and make informed demands from their representatives. Democracy cannot be sustained without an active and enlightened citizenry. An initiative such as this provide a bridge to close the gap between representation and public expectation.
After the speeches, the report is unveiled.
Okay, they all have one now, so let me have one myself.
The document, among other things, provides a picture of how well members of the National Assembly are performing. The policy dialogue and public unveiling of the first session of the 10th National Assembly Deliberative Barometer and Policy Productivity Report is aimed at showcasing the productivity index of lawmakers.
Meanwhile, the Benue State House of Assembly has screened and confirmed 6 out of the 8 Batch A Commissioner nominees, but rejected the nomination of Professor Timothy Yagien Oguga over allegations contained in 4 petitions against him from his former students and for lacking a primary school certificate. At plenary, presided over by the Speaker, Mr. Andona Dajo, the lawmakers asked Governor Hyacinth Ali of Benue to send replacements for Professor Timothy Oguga and Mr. James Duen the nominee from Makurdi local government area. Briefing journalists after the session, the spokesperson of the House and lawmaker representing Makurdi North, Alfred Berger, cleared the air over the proposed bill banning couples from public expression of love in Benue State.
Activities at the Benue State House of Assembly began with the arrival of the Sergeant-at-Arms bearing the mace, with the presiding officer, Mr. Andona Dajo, in tow. As lawmakers commenced the business of the day, which is the screening of commissioners designate, 2 nominees appear before the lawmakers. But plenary takes a twist where the nomination of Professor Timothy Onguga is announced. After introducing himself, the majority leader presents 4 petitions written against him, while the lawmaker representing Tarka constituency queried his academic credentials.
There are 4 other petitions against him. One from the community of students worldwide, asking him to step down. But there's one particular one which I want to bring to the House attention. Petition against Dr. Yandien as Commissioner nominee on issues of student victimization, harassment, and intimidation. And the student alleged that he gave him an F. When he came to school, he had a GPA of 4.74. And the man gave him an F.
In his defense, the nominee clarifies what happened with a particular student whose grades he allegedly tampered with, claiming his dean was responsible for the interference.
That course is constitutional law, which I taught that year. Gave an assessment, which that lady scored 14/40. I gave the examination, which by reason of the many responsibilities I had in the university, and also considering the fact that that same semester I taught another course, and because we were to submit exams, I decided that let my colleague help me mark constitutional law. After the results were published, my dean called me to the office and told me that there's a lady who says she failed constitutional law, and that was my course. I told my dean, yes, it was my course, but I was not the one that marked the scripts. So my dean now asked me whether I will remark the script myself. I said no. I believe in the judgment of the lecturer who marked it, and so I will not mark. So my dean now asked me whether I will permit him to mark. I told him it was not proper for him to mark.
After the screening of all 8 nominees from the first list sent by Governor Hyacinth earlier, 6 were cleared and 2 rejected. The House, however, addresses concerns surrounding the controversial law banning public expression of love in the state and the suspension of Otupo local government chairman, Mr. Maxwell Ogiri.
The chairman of Otupo was suspended based on allegation from the councillors. The House recommends 6 months suspension of the local government chairman, and today His Excellency approved 1 month.
The State Assembly will reconvene on Friday to continue with the screening process following the confirmation of Teresa Ikwe, Benjamin Ashavi, Adamu Ijagua, Peter Egbodo, Dennis Yagba, and Paul Oguche as commissioners designate.
In part 2, after the break, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos commissions the Lagos State University Auditorium at the institution's Ekwe campus. Please join us again. Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television broadcasting from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Southern PDP leaders break ranks, distancing themselves from the Southwest consultative meeting over whispers of a presidential zoning deal. Speaker Abbas Tajuddin throws down the gauntlet, urging Nigerians to hold their representatives to account for the true citizens' power. Senior Oil Workers Union renews its push, insisting government hands off refineries to end the cycle of waste. Moscow unleashes its fiercest wave of strikes in weeks, leaving Ukraine battered in deadly bombardments. The president of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Festus Osifo, has reiterated the call for the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Limited model to be used in revamping the nation's refineries. Mr. Osifo, who set the tone for the second day of the Pengassan Energy and Labour Summit, says that Nigeria has competent manpower to manage the refineries if the leaders have the political will to ensure efficiency. Our correspondent, Delio Moyeni, reports.
ILO representative will also welcome you.
Day 2 of the Pengassan Energy and Labour Summit focused on deepening safety in the workplace in Nigeria's oil and gas industry. The president of Pengassan raises concerns and the solution to Nigeria's moribund refineries.
We have said this over and over again, that yes, the refinery should work, but that there is a model that we have operated over the years. And that model that we have operated over the years is what we refer to as the NLNG model. Bring the refinery to work. It is okay. But when the refinery is working, you divest. Let government have minority shares in it. You bring a refining company, not a tailoring company, not companies who are specialized in other industries or companies who are just portfolio investors. But you bring companies who know how to manage refineries. Let them come in and have the majority stake. As we have said, we have human resources in the refineries who understand how to operate the operations of the refinery.
For the chief executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, the upstream sector is leading the way for a better energy sector in the country.
Licensing round that was conducted that ended in December 2024 is a licensing round that, again, as a country, we should be very proud of. It's a showcase for us in the country. We started by, that exercise, I remember the commencement was launched at that is an Haiti Dialogue Forum. And at that event, I made it very clear as the regulator of the industry that for once, we are going to ensure that the exercise conform with all tenets of transparency. Step by step, we carried out the exercise, and of course, at the commercial stage, we made sure that it was telecast live.
Some of the guest speakers also harp on industrial harmony in the sector.
Some of the clauses in the Act ensures that government must provide an enabling legislation and timely intervention mechanism. The employers themselves must treat the workforce as partners, not adversary.
Deepening HSE and ESG culture means prioritizing safety over unsafe shortcuts, demanding fairness and accountability, protecting communities, and ensuring respect for labor.
The consensus for Day 2 is that a safe working environment and a motivated workforce will contribute immensely to boosting the sector. Delio Moyeni, Channels Television News.
In a major move to improve access to potable water in the Federal Capital Territory's satellite towns, the Minister of the FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, has flagged off the construction and expansion of water supply to Karu Town and other towns in Abuja Municipal Area Council. The project is part of a 90 billion naira package that also covers Buhari Township, aimed at providing clean water to thousands of residents across the territory. Our correspondent Benny Ark reports.
This is the official flag-off ceremony of Lot 2 Karu Town and Environs Water Supply Project, a satellite town in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The event is attended by top government officials, community leaders, officials of the contracting company, and residents who welcome the development as a long-awaited relief. The project is designed to expand water distribution networks, boost supply capacity, and improve access to safe water for rapidly growing communities.
When completed, the project will provide potable water to the residents of Karu, Kurudu, Jikwe, Orozo, and other communities in this environment under the Abuja Municipal Area Council. And thus, this will improve the health and well-being of the people.
This project is beyond water, but it is a symbol of progress, also a promise fulfilled and a future renewed. So I want us to safeguard this for the present and also the future generation to come.
The FCT minister describes the project as a strategic investment on the President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda.
This is one of the promises made by Mr. President when he commissioned in June, 2 months ago, of the Abuja Greater Water. He said he was going to also do this in the satellite towns. And we have started with Buhari Area Council and Amak Area Council. By the grace of God, next year, we'll get to Kuje and Dida Gwagwalada, and then before Mr. President completes his first stadium, we would have gotten around to Gwagwalada and Abaji.
With the flag up of the Karo water supply project on the way, authorities say more satellite towns will benefit in the common phases as the administration pushes to provide safe water to all communities by 2027. Benny Ark, Channels Television News.
The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has commissioned a newly built multi-purpose auditorium at the Lagos State University Ekpe campus, donated by the Vice Chairman of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Olatunji Bello. Governor Sanwo-Olu described the structure as a beacon of knowledge, creativity, and intellectual engagement, standing as a testament to vision, commitment, and the enduring value of giving back to society.
The Lagos State University Ekpe campus receives federal and state executives, including the Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Minister of Education, among other dignitaries, who have all come for the inauguration of the Olatunji Bello Auditorium, donated by the Chief Executive Officer of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, Mr. Olatunji Bello. The structure provided for LASU students is part of the state government's plan to upgrade facilities at a state-owned tertiary institution, and the beneficiaries are grateful for the continued support given to LASU.
We thank you for this foresight, generosity, and dedication to uplifting education in Lagos State. You are leaving a wonderful legacy and indelible footprints in the sands of time.
The Vice-Chancellor of LASU, Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello, who is also the wife of the donor, says the facility will ensure seamless academic learning for students.
For a campus housing the Faculty of Engineering, Faculty of Environmental Sciences, and School of Agriculture, the auditorium marks a significant milestone towards achieving Goal 3 of our administration. That is making infrastructural facilities available and accessible for seamless academic and administrative operations.
The idea of building something for LASU.
Mr. Olatunji Bello says the project was conceived in 2021 when he clocked 60 just to give back to society.
This is my humble way of supporting the argument that public purpose is served better by helping public universities fill the infrastructural gap. Certainly, the government cannot do it alone. Private individuals who really have the means should invest in public tertiary education to create more opportunities as prevalent in several developed countries. To the students soon to start benefiting from this auditorium, I sincerely hope that this auditorium will inspire you to double your zeal to excel in your academic pursuit.
The Minister of Education announces a 5 kVA mini power grid for LASU Ekpe campus to address electricity challenges.
Lasu Ekpe campus will get a 5 megahertz mini grid as part of the federal government solarization project. That's already been approved. TechFund would also be building an 11 megahertz mini grid for the main campus.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also applauds Mr. Olatunji Bello for his contribution to the education sector, which aligns with the state development agenda.
The management of LASU over the last 4 years, we have raised this university to an enviable position and want to assure you that we'll give you everything it takes to ensure that it doesn't go down. Honorable Tunji Bello, thank you very, very much. We're indeed very grateful, and we're using this as a point of contact for others that will have land, we have space, we have what it takes to get much more donation, endowment. This university can take everything.
The newly built 500-seater edifice donated by Mr. Olatunji Bello will no doubt bridge infrastructural gap in LASU and inspire students to excel in their academic pursuit.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, and the Nigerian Immigration Service, the NIS, have repatriated 51 more foreign nationals convicted and sentenced for cyber terrorism and internet fraud. The repatriated foreign nationals include 50 Chinese and 1 Tunisian, bringing the total number of repatriated convicted foreign nationals to 102 in the ongoing exercise that commenced on Friday, August the 15th, 2025. The convicts are among the 192 foreign nationals arrested during a sting operation by the Commission in Lagos following actionable intelligence about the operations of one of the largest foreign-led cybercrime syndicates in Nigeria. Further deportations are scheduled in the coming days. Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's foreign reserves climbed to $41 billion. That's the highest level in 4 years. That's in business news. Please join us again. Welcome back. It's still the news at 10 on Channels Television. Let's head over to our Abuja studios now, where Millicent Walker is standing by.
Many thanks, Anne. We continue here with security, and it's one of relief for 14 children between the ages of 4 and 9 who were rescued from child traffickers, as they have now been reunited with their families in Yola, the Adamawa state capital. The Deputy Governor of the state, Professor Keletapwa Faruata, who officially handed over the children at a ceremony in Yola, said child trafficking is a monster that has been rearing its head in the state and must be stopped by all means.
In July 2025, intelligence reports emerged of a number of missing children in Yola and Mubi local government areas of Adamawa State. Following the efforts of the state government and security agencies, the children aged between 4 and 9 were all traced to a middle-aged woman, one Ngozi Abdul Wahab, who had trafficked them from Adamawa to Anambra State. This event, holding at the conference hall of the Deputy Governor's office in Yola, is for the official handover of the 14 rescued trafficked children to their parents.
Our citizens are our most cherished assets, and under no condition should anyone convert them into commodities of trade. For the past 2 months under the rescue regime, we have worked tirelessly with the security operatives from the point of report to investigation and evacuation of these children from their captors.
The Chief Medical Director, Specialist Hospital Yola, Dr. Dauda Wandiga, who took care of the children, described their condition upon return. Even as the commandant of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons in Adamawa State, Mr. Hassan Nabi, says the agency is working hard to stop the disturbing trend of child trafficking in Adamawa State.
They were looking sick, emotionally destabilized. Some had wounds on their legs. Almost all of them had tinea cavities, like fungal infection on their skin, their hair. They were looking malnourished. Some had abscesses on their legs, and so on and so forth. One of them who had pyromyositis of both types, because he was constantly being beaten on that tie. Right now, I'm waiting for the handing over to a suspect to my office so that we prosecute her, because we have the mandate of prosecution and sensitization, and also we have the mandate of rehabilitation of the children, that you see it now.
One of the parents of the rescued children expresses gratitude to the state government.
We were struggling day and night, up and down. We first of all sorted the issue to the Nigerian police. Then along the line, you know the capability of the Nigerian police. They do their best in support of the state government, and then luckily, out of the about 30 children, the government have recovered 14 of them.
In a bid to empower the parents of the children, the State Deputy Governor, Professor Kaletapua Farauta, handed them assorted food items and 100,000 naira each. As they depart to their various destinations, the recurring advice to the parents is to keep closer watch on their wards.
100 Ogoni youths have now been ushered into a world of boundless opportunities in the creative industry following the successful completion of a 4-month training course organized by the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, HYPREP. The training, which covered different areas of creative arts, was facilitated by the University of Port Harcourt Theatre Arts Department. Our correspondent Deborah Agbalama reports.
It's a colorful closing ceremony at the Theatre Arts Department of the University of Port Harcourt as 100 Ogoni youths graduate from an intensive 4-month training in script writing, film production and makeup techniques under HYPREP's Sustainable Livelihood Program. The beneficiaries from across Ogoni land are expected to deploy their new skills in the fast-growing creative and entertainment industry.
I encourage you to use these skills positively. The world is listening, and it is your duty as young people to ensure that Ogoni is heard in the right way.
While the head of Department, Theatre Arts, University of Port Harcourt, Dr. Evundai Hunwo, explains the technicalities of the training program.
We embarked on this program in 3 sessions that ran concurrently: the acting class, the script writing class, and the makeup class. After then, we had master classes. We had a master class on acting and film production.
Other speakers at the ceremony applaud the initiative and urge the beneficiaries to maximize the opportunity given to them.
This contract or project was given to us, and we'll make sure that our brothers and sisters are well tutored and trained.
And we took the first step as a project to select talents from the 4 local government areas of Ogoni.
Today, peace must dress our spirits. The land awaits us at Ketego.
The high point of the event is the premiere of one of the 4 short films produced by the trainees, titled 30 Festival. The other films include Open Pain, Komu, and Green War.
Now, the air is silent. Now, the waters have turned enemies of men.
Passing through this program was a very wonderful experience, and I pray the knowledge I've gathered from this program will not end here.
HYPREP has now trained 230 Ogoni youths in high-demand skills, including seafaring and aviation. Plans are also on the way to train persons with disabilities in 5 vocational skills: fish farming, computer literacy, photography, fashion design, and shoemaking. Deborah Abalama, Channels Television News.
And that's it from the nation's capitals. Back to Lagos for more on the news at 10.
Thank you, Millicent. To company news, one of Nigerian market leaders for specialty fats and oils, Presco PLC, has declared a dividend of 42 naira 50 kobo per share for the year ended 2024. The chairman, Presco PLC, Mr. Rashid Sawami, who made this known at its 2025 annual general meeting in Lagos, reported the company's commitment to growth and expansion of its regional footprints as it plans to undertake 2 key acquisitions the Ghana Oil Palm Development Company, and the Saro Oil Palm Limited.
I declare the motion carried.
A hall filled with members of the management and shareholders of Presco PLC as they take stock of the audited financial accounts of the company for the year ended December 31st, 2024. Group CEO of Siad Group, the parent company of Presco PLC, Mr. Felix Nwabuko, presents the growth and regional expansion plans of the company.
Presco plans to undertake two key acquisitions, the Ghana Oil Palm Development Company and the Saro Oil Palm Limited. This strategic acquisition represents the first phase of our expansion roadmap and will provide a strong foundation for regional scale, operational synergies, and the long-term profitability.
The chairman of Presco PLC, Mr. Rashid Sarumi, in the statement gives the audited financial report for the period ended as Presco PLC reviews a revenue of 207.5 billion naira, up by 102.6% against 102.4 billion naira recorded in the previous year, 2023. The company explains how its gross profit grew by 120% to settle at 142 billion naira, above 64.5 billion naira reported in 2023. The reported profit before tax also went up by 128.7% to stand at 113.2 billion naira, above the previous close of 49.5 billion naira.
I hereby move that a dividend of 42 naira per 50 kobo share.
The chairman then moves a motion for a dividend of 42 naira per 50 kobo share, which was approved.
The registrar having announced the votes cast, I declare the motion carried. Thank you.
Impressed by the development, a shareholder, DBC Bakare, commends the company for its growth over the years.
Presco is a very good investment. That within 6 months, that shareholders got over 1,000% growth in their share price. So it's a very good investment.
Presco also supplies specialty fats and oils of outstanding quality to customer specifications and assures of reliability of supply of its product year-round. For the management of Presco PLC, their performance has been remarkable as it reinforces its position as one of West Africa's leading edible oil businesses.
Let's take a look at Nigeria's foreign reserves and other stories from the world of business with Will Ibong.
Thank you, Anne. Nigeria marks a financial milestone as foreign reserves rise to $41 billion, their strongest level in 4 years. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, gross reserves climbed steadily from $39.5 billion at the start of August, boosted by stronger crude oil production, rising non-oil exports, and increased capital inflows. The CBN explains that these gains are not only helping to reduce imports, but also bringing more stability to the foreign exchange market. The CBN Governor, Olayemi Cardoso, says the reserves now provide almost 10 months of import cover, a signal of progress in efforts to strengthen the economy and stabilize the naira. Now we head to the domestic stock market, where the losing streak continues at the NGX as MTN Nigeria, Boa Cement lead losses. John Mekwa has the details.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Stock Market Report. We're still reporting a red market at the NGX today, and it's been led today by MTN Nigeria. MTN Nigeria, which opened at 445 naira, lost 10 naira to close at 435 naira at the close of trade. But it does look like a rebound is coming the way of MTN, especially with the news going on about, new broadband that will make it easier for households to be able to get internet. So that might drive some market right there. Let's look at other contributors to the red market that we had today. Banking recovered from yesterday's deep fall, led by the usual suspect, GTCO and Zenith Bank. So it's up almost 0.5%. Consumer goods, however, did not make it. Profit taking on Champion led the market down here. But also, when it comes to Champion, there's news coming on really close. You might want to look out for it. Perhaps you want to use this opportunity of a dip and get on board. But I'll leave that to you. Oil and gas is still down 0.06% because of O&O and Japan Gold. At the close of trade today, a lot of money was shaved off again. 781 billion naira shaved off the market cap, bringing us to the 88.7 trillion naira level. And yes, we did lose another point right there. 140,000 level is where we are now for the old share at the close of trade, and the bear is happy again.
Thank you, Ini. Let's see how other major equities perform today as there appears to be clarity in the EU-US trade deal. And that's business news. It's back to Anne for the rest of the news at 10.
Thank you, Will. President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians in the diaspora to contribute their expertise and resources to consolidating national development and building a stronger and more prosperous country. President Tinubu made the call in Yokohama, Japan, during an interactive meeting with select members of the Nigerian community on the sidelines of the ongoing Tokyo International Conference on African Development. The meeting, which brought together professionals and entrepreneurs across various fields, allowed the president to share his administration's achievement, assuring them of his commitment to drive economic growth. President Tinubu also asked the diaspora community to remain ambassadors of the country by projecting Nigeria positively in their engagements abroad. Staying outside our shores, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says that he has instructed his cabinet to begin negotiations for the release of all remaining hostages and put an end to the war in Gaza on terms only acceptable to Israel. Here's Simon Pusey with more international news and around the world in 5 from our London studios.
Good evening and welcome to the Channel studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Russia has launched 574 drones and 40 missiles on Ukraine in one of the heaviest bombardments in weeks. One person was killed in a drone and missile strike on the western city of Lviv, while 15 others were reported wounded in an attack on the southwestern Transcarpathia region. The attacks came as US President Donald Trump spearheads diplomatic moves to halt the war. Ukrainian Foreign Minister said the airstrikes highlighted why efforts to bring it to an end were so critical. President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Ukraine was ready to meet Russia's Vladimir Putin in neutral Europe, mooting Switzerland or Austria, adding he was not against Istanbul either. German prosecutors say a Ukrainian man has been arrested in Italy on suspicion of blowing up the Nord Stream gas pipeline under the Baltic Sea, several months after the start of Russia's full-scale invasion. The man, identified only as Serhii K., was arrested in the province of Rimini and was part of a group who planted explosives under the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines from Russia to Germany, according to federal prosecutors. The blasts severed a key source of natural gas for Europe when leaders were facing an energy crisis triggered by Russia's war. Officials say Palestinians are fleeing parts of Gaza City after the Israeli military began the first stages of a planned ground offensive. Israel's troops have established a foothold on the outskirts of the city, which is home to more than 1 million Palestinians after days of intense bombing and artillery fire. It has prompted UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres to renew calls for an immediate ceasefire to avoid the death and destruction an assault would inevitably cause. Israel wants to signal that it is pressing ahead with its plan to capture all of Gaza City, despite international criticism.
I must reiterate that it is vital to reach immediately a ceasefire in Gaza and the unconditional release of all hostages, and to avoid the massive deaths and destruction that a military operation against Gaza City would inevitably cause.
You want transparency?
Texas legislators have approved new congressional maps designed to give Republicans an edge in next year's elections for the U.S. House of Representatives.
Straightforward. Improve Republican political performance.
Republicans in the Texas House of Representatives passed the new voting lines in an 88-52 vote, creating 5 new Republican-leaning seats. It followed a 2-week standoff in which Democrats fled the state to stall the vote and rally supporters against the redistricting plans. The maps will now go to the state Senate, where they're expected to be swiftly approved and then signed off by the Texas governor. Popular Ghanaian musician Shatta Wale has been detained in a tax investigation linked to his purchase of a luxury car, according to his management. Here, fans of his protesting by playing his music in the streets following his arrest. Wale's yellow Lamborghini was seized earlier this month at the request of the US, which alleged that the vehicle was tied to the proceeds of a criminal enterprise. The US Vice President J.D. Vance and other senior members of the Trump administration have been heckled as they met National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. Vance, along with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, visited the troops at Union Station, D.C.'s largest rail hub. Protesters yelled at the trio to leave the city, some shouting "Free D.C." and "Free Palestine." President Donald Trump deployed the National Guard to the capital on the 11th of August as he pledged to crack down on crime and homelessness in the city. And the US judge and social media star Frank Caprio has died at the age of 88, according to his family.
I think 9:59 is close enough to 10. Matters dismissed.
Thank you.
The judge became a social media sensation for his compassion and humor on his hit show Caught in Providence.
Yeah, I know. He had a great argument. He came in well prepared today. Guilty or not guilty? What do you say?
Guilty.
Guilty.
His videos have received billions of views and earned him the title of the nicest judge in the world. Frank Caprio's death follows a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer and was announced on Instagram to his 3.4 million followers. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. Cameroon have progressed to the semi-final of the FIBA AfroBasket in Luanda, Angola, showing up hungry and had more desire than Egypt in the quarterfinals contest earlier today. The indomitable Lions played with precision and demonstrated their championship potential, overpowering Egypt 95-68. Team captain Fabian Ateba's 26 points achieved by shooting 5 for 9 from the three-point line led Cameroon to their first semi-final since 2009. Also, Angola beat Cape Verde 90-80 to join Mali, Senegal, Cameroon in the last 4. In less than 24 hours, the 2025-26 Nigeria Premier Football League will kick off as title holders Remo Stars will play host to the 2022 champions Rivers United in what promises to be a thrilling curtain raiser at the Sky Blue temporary home ground, the MK Abiola Sports Center in Abeokuta. This is the second time both teams will be meeting in a match-day-one fixture in the MPFL. Rivers United triumphed in the opening fixture in 2019, 1-0. The Pride of Rivers also won their match-day-one clash in 2024, 2-0. Remo Stars have decided to use Abeokuta as a temporary home ground following ongoing renovation work at their stadium in Ikene. And Super Eagles forward Victor Boniface has reached a verbal agreement with AC Milan to join the Italian side this summer. 4 more steps are still needed, including medical, but verbal agreement done for total deal package worth 30 million euros. The agreement also includes a 5 million euros loan fee and a 24 million euros buy option clause, which is not mandatory and ran until the summer of 2026. Should the move be finalized, Boniface is expected to sign a long-term contract with the Rossoneri, keeping him at San Siro until June 2030. And Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca has confirmed Tosin and Wesley Fofana are both available for tomorrow's clash with West Ham United. But Romeo Latvia and Benoit Badiashile remain sidelined. Chelsea will be aiming to secure their first win of the season when they take on David Moyes' side at the London Stadium following their goalless draw against Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge in their opening fixture.
Tough game again. All the Premier League games, they are tough. They are difficult. If you remember the game at home last year was a difficult game for us. They defend very well. Tomorrow I expect exactly the same. And again, the Premier League just started, so you can see that they are trying to find some solution in the same way we are doing. For sure, with more time, we're gonna be better and better. But pace where it is, we need to adapt. I think we showed last week against Palace, where until the end we compete, until the end we create chances. And as I said, we're gonna be better and better day after day.
That sports is back to you, Anne.
Thank you, Chris. And the main news again. Southern PDP leaders break ranks, distance themselves from the Southwest Consultative Meeting over whispers of a presidential zoning deal. Speaker Abbas Tajuddin throws down the gauntlet, urges Nigerians to hold their representatives to account for true citizens' power. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Nwawade. Good night and please stay safe.